to my channel. I just wanted to film this quick intro just to say welcome to all of my new subscribers and also give a big thanks to everyone who's been really nice to me in the comments and everyone who's been enjoying my tutorials. It really means a lot to me. Can you hear that? Okay, the sirens stopped. I guess that's it for this intro. I just wanted to say hi. I never film intros just because there's just so much street noise. It's like crazy. But I'm here today with Bijou and he wanted to say hi. In today's video, I am going to be making a Totoro backpack. So that's really cool and I'm pretty sure that was a request from, oh my god. I'm pretty sure that was a request from a subscriber. I have been getting a lot of request videos. I get them through Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram username is pudding_cup__. I know it's kind of weird, but I don't want to change it. So that's my Instagram, and I've been getting a lot of DMs of pictures and just projects that you guys want to see me create tutorials for. So I am slowly going through that, and I do have a bunch of videos lined up that I want to do. So this is the yarn that I'm using for this project. It's a Weight 4 Lions brand acrylic yarn. Then I'm taking my 5mm hook, make a knot, and then chain a total of 18. Once you've chained a total of 18, then prepare for a half double crochet, and you're going to count to the third chain from the chain that you're on, and you're going to be placing a half double crochet. Prepare for another half double crochet and then go through the very next chain, and you're also going to be placing one half double crochet. So you're just going to go back through this entire chain, placing one half double crochet in every chain. Once you've reached the very last chain in the row, you're going to be placing a total of 6 half double crochets in this one chain to make the turn, and then we are going to crochet along the opposite side. So once you have a total of 6, prepare for another half double crochet, and then you're going to be going along the very first chain on the opposite side of the row. And you're going to be placing one half double crochet in every chain until you reach the end. So once you reach the very last chain in the row, prepare for a half double crochet, and you're going to be placing a total of 5 half double crochets in this last chain. Once you have the 5 half double crochets, then you're going to be connecting it to the top of the very first chain in the row on the opposite side. And you're going to be connecting that with a slip stitch. And then that completes your first row. So now you're going to chain 2. Prepare for a half double crochet and place it in this very first chain that your chain 2 is coming out of. Now you're going to go back along the row and place a half double crochet in every chain until you reach the very first chain that's in the sequence of 6 half double crochets for the turn. So now you are at the turn of the row. So what I'm going to do is in the very first chain, I'm going to be placing 2 half double crochets in this same chain. The very next chain, I'm only going to be placing 1 half double crochet. The chain after, I'm going to be placing 2 half double crochets. and then the chain after 1, and then in the very next chain 2 half double crochets, and then that completes your turn sequence. And then you're just going to continue along this side of the row, placing 1 half double crochet in every chain. So I just crocheted along the other side of the row until I reached the other turn. So in the very first chain, I'm going to be placing 2 half double crochets. Then in the very next chain after, I'm going to be placing 2 half double crochets. The very next chain, since this is the chain 2 we created at the beginning of the row, and we placed the half double crochet coming out of the same chain, this very next chain I'm only going to be placing 1 half double crochet. And then you are finished with your turn, and I'm going to connect it to the top of the chain 2 with a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain 2 to begin my next row, and I'm going to repeat that same exact process. So I'm going to be placing a half double crochet in the same chain that the chain 2 is coming out of. Now you're going to be placing a half double crochet in every single chain until you reach the turn sequence at the end. So it just starts at the first chain that you have the first 2 half double crochets in the same chain. So once you reach the end of the row and now you're at your turn, again you're going to be placing 2 half double crochets in the first stitch of the turn. In the very next stitch, you're only going to be placing 1 half double crochet. In the stitch after, you're going to be placing 2. The stitch after, just 1. The stitch after, 2. So once you've reached the turn, again you're going to repeat that same pattern on the other side. So in the first chain, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then you're going to connect with a slip stitch. So I am just gonna skip through this part. So I did connect it with a slip stitch, and then I chained 2 to begin the next row. So this row is going to be slightly different. So for the next 5 chains, you're going to be placing 1 half double crochet in each chain. Once you have 5 chains with 1 half double crochet in each chain, then for the next 8 chains, I'm going to be placing 1 double crochet in every chain. So once you have 8 double crochets, then in the next 5 chains, you're going to be placing half double crochets. So now you have reached the turn, and you're going to continue the same pattern of placing 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 until you reach the end of the turn. So now that you have completed your turn, the pattern on the back of the bottom will be slightly smaller. So we are only going to be placing 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 chains. Now you're going to be placing 8 double crochets, 1 in each chain. Once you have your 8 regular double crochets, then in the next 4 chains, you're going to be placing 1 half double crochet in each chain. Now you're going to repeat your turn pattern, so it's going to be 2 1 2 1 2 1. So the first chain is going to get 2 half double crochet. The next one is going to get 1. So now I'm at the last chain of the turn, and the very last chain before that I did 2 half double crochets in the same chain, and now on this very last one, to close the gap, I am going to also be placing 2 half double crochets in the same chain. Actually, I'm going to place 3. Then I am going to close the very top of the chain 2 you did. You're going to connect it with a slip stitch. So I am just going to do one more row for my bag, so I'm just going to chain 2 to start the row. Then I'm going to be placing half double crochets, 1 in each of the next 5 chains. Now place 8 double crochets. We are kind of following the same pattern as the previous row. Now in the next 5 chains, I'm going to be placing 1 half double crochet in each chain. Now I'm at the turn, and I'm going to continue the same pattern of alternating, beginning with 2 half double crochets, then placing 1, 2, 1. So I'm just alternating that. Obviously it's not going to be the same number because each row is getting bigger, so I'm just going to alternate that pattern until I reach the end, and you can tell you've reached the end because the chain on the previous row will have 2 half double crochets. It will mark the end of the turn because you are beginning with 2 half double crochets and you're ending with 2 half double crochets. So once you've finished the turn, on the next 3 chains, I'm going to be placing 1 half double crochet in each chain. And for the next 8 chains, I'm going to be placing basic double crochets. Once you have your 8 double crochets, then for the next 4 chains, I'm going to be placing half double crochets, 1 in each chain. Once you're finished with that, you have reached the beginning of the turn, so then you're going to continue the pattern starting with 2 half double crochets in the first chain of the turn, then alternate between 1, and then you're going to continue until you reach the end of the turn. So I'm on the last chain of the turn, and since I placed 3 in the previous chain, the second to last should be 1 half double crochet, and then in the last just go ahead and put 2, so you're finishing the pattern. Then once you have the 2, connect it to the top of the chain 2 with a slip stitch. And then this is going to be the base of my bag. If you want your bag to be larger, continue that same pattern for 1 more row. But I'm just going to stop here. So I'm not going to cut and tie my yarn. I'm just going to continue from where I've left off. Now you're going to want to make this the back side of the bag, and then this is going to be the front. So I do want the front of the bag to have a little bit more room. To begin the row, I'm going to chain 2. Now I'm just going to place 1 half double crochet in every chain until I reach the beginning of the turn on the end of the row. I'm not going to be doing double crochets, I'm going to be doing half double crochets, and the difference with this next row, I'm only going to be placing my half double crochets in the back of the chain. So normally I've been going through the whole entire chains, but now I'm only going to be going through the back chain. This is going to give the bag a more of a crease to it. So just go ahead and only place half double crochets through the back of the chain. It's okay if it's a little loose like this. This is just going to help it stand a little bit better. So then just go until you reach the beginning of the turn. So now I've reached the beginning of the turn, and I'm going to continue the turn pattern of placing 2 half double crochets in the first chain of the turn, and then 1 half double crochet in the very next chain, and then 2 in the chain after. So you're going to continue that pattern all the way around, and then for the straightaway, you're going to just continue that pattern of increasing. So you're not going to stop at the end of the turn. You're going to continue placing 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around, and then continue it back to the other side until you reach the end of this row. So now I just finished that entire row. So again, you are only crocheting into the back of the chain, and you are increasing 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around. So I reached the end of the row, and then I connected it with a slip stitch. So now for the next row, we are just going to be placing 1 half double crochet in every chain, including the sides. So you're no longer increasing at all, you're just doing 1 half double crochet in every chain. And then you're going to connect the ends of your rows with slip stitches, chain 2, and then begin the next row the same exact way. So this is what you should have once you've done 5 rows. So now that I've reached 5 rows, I am going to start decreasing chains just so that the bag portion starts evening out and getting a little bit smaller towards the top. So I'm going to chain 2 to start the row as usual. Then I am going to do the straightaway as normal. I'm going to chain 1 half double crochet in every chain, and then once I reach, honestly it doesn't really matter which exact chain you stop on. I'm just gonna stop just a few chains before the turn of the bag. So this is where I stopped. So now all I'm going to do is from the point where you're stopping for the straightaway back, I'm going to, in the next 5 chains, just place 1 half double crochet in every chain. Now I'm going to start decreasing chains every 5 half double crochets. So to decrease a chain, I'm just going straight through the very next chain. I'm not wrapping the yarn, I'm just going straight through. I'm going to pull yarn through, then I'm going to have 2 loops left on my hook, then I'm just going to go straight through the very next chain and pull yarn through. So I have 3 loops on my hook. Then I'm just going to pull yarn through all 3 of those, and that's how you decrease a chain without skipping and having any spaces. So then I'm going to wrap my yarn around the hook and then go through the next chain. So I'm just going to do 5 more. Now that I've done 5 more, I'm just going to decrease again. So again, I'm not wrapping yarn around the hook, I'm just going straight through the next chain, pulling yarn through, and then going straight through the next chain and pulling yarn through. So I'll have 3 left on my hook, and then I'm just going to pull yarn through all 3 of those. So then just continue that pattern of doing 5 half double crochets and then decreasing, and that's all you're going to do for the remainder of this row. So I just finished that row and I connected it with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 2 and do 1 more row of decreasing. So I'm going to chain 2 to begin the row. I'm going to place 1 half double crochet in every chain for the back straightaway. Again, I don't really know exactly what chain that is. I'm just going to stop a few chains before the turn. So I'm sorry that I'm not being really precise in this pattern, but this is just what I'm doing. So I'm just going to place 1 half double crochet in every chain and finish these straight away real fast. So I just finished crocheting along the back side, and now for the very first stitch of the turn, I'm just going to decrease in this stitch. When you're decreasing, you don't want to decrease in the same chain that you decreased in the row beneath it, because then it's going to start forming a little corner in the middle of your work. So you want to try and make sure that you are not decreasing in the same stitch right above it. So I just decreased there, then I'm going to chain, place half double crochets, 1 in each chain for the next 6 chains. So I just finished that row and connected it with a slip stitch. Now I'm going to do 2 more rows of decreasing. So this row I'm going to just do the straightaway and then start decreasing every 7. And then the next row I'm going to do the straightaway and then start decreasing every 8. So that's all I'm going to do for the next 2 rows. I'm just going to skip over it and come back. So this is what you should have once you finish with the last 2 rows of decreases. Now I'm just going to do 3 rows without adding or subtracting any chains. So I'm just going to do 3 basic rows, chain 2 to start your row, and going to skip this and come back once I finished. So I just realized that I hadn't been recording for the last few rows. So the last thing I said was I was going to do 3 rows of regular half double crochets without increasing or decreasing. I ended up doing 4 rows. So from that point, do 4 rows, and then the last 2 rows I did were decreasing rows. So I crocheted along the straightaway, and then I started decreasing every 5, and then the very next row I crocheted the straightaway back, and then I decreased every 6. So that about catches you up to where I am right now. So I am just going to be doing regular rows without increasing or decreasing. I just started my first row, and I'm just going to be doing that until I get the length I want for my bag. I feel like I'm almost done. I'm probably only going to do 2 more rows of this. If you want your bag to be large, continue this for as long as you need. So I am finished with pretty much the bulk of the bag. I did 4 rows from where I stopped increasing. If you want your bag to be larger, of course, just continue the rows, but I just kind of want a smaller backpack. So now I'm just going to cut and tie. Loop that through one more time and then just pull it tightly. I am going to weave that in after. So now I'm going to get started on the belly of Totoro. I'm going to take some I didn't clean my room. To film this quick. How long is this? 5 minutes. Oh. Okay. No? Oh, I am filming.